Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's talk about these good vibes. Good vibes. High vibes. High vibes. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I'm coming to y'all early. I'm coming to y'all early today. Um, Talk about some motivational, some positivity to get your day started. Um, for those of you joining, if you are watching me live, throw a one in the chat. If you are watching me on the replay, throw a two in the chat. Either way, I appreciate you. But let's talk about these good vibes. Ooh, my car burning me up. Ooh, talk about these good vibes because somebody needs to hear some positivity to right now. You know, first and foremost, this is the season. This is high. This is the high season when a lot of people do negative things to themselves. This time of the year. So make sure y'all calling and checking on people, and you know, sometimes you gotta give somebody a shoulder to cry on. We need it sometimes, but we all need it. But some people need a little bit more than others. So um, just sending blessings and healing to those folks out here. But anyway, yesterday I was talking a little bit about high vibration and frequencies and spiritual warfare and everything because we are always in it. So you gotta keep yourself on the good side, and there's many ways to do that. As I discussed yesterday, doing things like replacing alcohol and like soda with water, replacing television with sleep. Things like that. Because success requires replacement. Period. And to keep yourself on a high vibration panel, you have to remove the negativity, but not just remove the negativity, you also have to replace it with positivity. And you can have people in your lives. These people can even be family members. It could be your significant other, someone living in your house, someone you work with, someone you hang with, a friend. And the relationship may not necessarily be healthy. I'm sure many of you have left a certain situation when it comes to a relationship or a partnership because it wasn't right. It was toxic. It was bringing you down. I've myself have been there. I left my first marriage because it was a toxic situation with a toxic individual who, like it seemed like he didn't like me. He wanted to bring me down. Things of that nature. Um, and didn't like who I was. Wanted me to be who he wanted me to be, and even when I did try to do some of those things, it still was good enough. It was never good enough. I guess I was never good enough, at least not for him. But at the end of the day, I'm good enough for myself, and I'm good enough for God, and I'll be good enough for somebody else at the end of the day. So yeah, when it comes to keeping your vibrations and your frequency high, separating yourself from certain people may be something you have to do. Um, if these if you have like a toxic codependency type relationship, it is something you're gonna have to do. It's just like somebody who, let's say somebody who does drugs, and you're trying to free yourself of these drugs and everything. I mean, it's not going to work if you're trying to free yourself of these drugs and alcohol and they continuously bring it into the house. So something like that, you got to separate yourself from. You got people out here who are following their dreams and they don't have people that support them. So their significant other might not support them either. So what you have to do, eventually, if they don't support you, you're gonna have to separate yourself because they're gonna be negative. They're gonna try to bring you down. They want to stop you from going after your dreams, but you should never do. Like never stop going after your dreams ever. I don't care what anybody tell you. Period. Okay, so with all those things being said, you hear elevation requires separation because it does, and that goes right inside. You want to be on a high frequency. You want to vibrate high always at optimal levels. You want to vibrate to the point where I know certain things at the certain decibel levels that us as humans we can't even hear it. You want to vibrate so high that people can't hear you, but they can feel your spirit. How about that? Okay. So like I said, never stop going after your dreams. So let's talk a little bit about the other stuff that you have to replace in your life. Um, and let's see. When we talked about drugs and drinking and how about a lot of junk food and a whole lot of eating unhealthy things like a lot of pizza and French fries and stuff like that. You have to replace it with like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And plus, not only is that going to help you vibrate louder, it's also help extend your life. Eating right help you avoid like cancers and things of that nature because they destroying our food anyway. So we have to be more healthy. Make sure you're eating fruits and vegetables and teach our children to do the same. Even doctors will tell you that, like, when a woman is pregnant with her child, the nutrition that the baby learns starts while she's pregnant, while the baby is still in utero. I mean, so do you want to be eating a whole bunch of junk food? No. Are you going to do it every once in a while? Yup. Because we got these things called cravings and all that good stuff. But a child's nutrition starts in utero, while they're a fetus, still on the inside. So it's important to have those fruits and those vegetables, period. Another thing is excess red meat. I don't eat like I do eat beef, I eat lamb, but I don't eat a whole lot of it. So think about like, chicken and turkey and fish. And you even gotta watch the fish that you eat because all fish is not good fish. Things you gotta stay away from. You should stay away from stuff like the bottom feeder fish, catfish, tilapia. Like tilapia is not even real fish. It's like something that was made. So you want to eat things with the high omega, like salmon, stuff like that. So be careful with that excess red meat. Don't eat a whole lot of beef. Like if you're going to get a burger, get a turkey burger, or how about get a bean burger? So, something like that. Right. Another thing is staying away from white sugar. A lot of things that's bleached white, we have to be careful in eating it. Like so and they say eat wheat bread. Wheat bread is better than white bread, but it's not better than multi-grain bread. So even when you're eating out, when you get that multi-grain bread, you want to get the grains, okay? And plus fiber, of course. All right. You gotta watch medication, but when you keep your health good, you don't have to take a lot of medication. Even when you get older. We had like, Dr. Savy before he passed or whatever, and me, I don't believe he just passed. But anyway, this the same guy that was jumping off tables and on his knees and all that good stuff in the 70s. So and we know nutrition and all that stuff have everything to do with that. Be careful with radiation. Radiation is in the air. You can have radiation in your home and not even know it. I know my years as a real estate agent. That's actually something that's like either on the state test or in the classroom test talking about radiation. But actually, a good way to fight against radiation in your home is to actually lift the windows up. Let fresh air from nature come into your house when it's that time of the year. So that would solve that. A lot of yelling and arguing, you want to stay away from those things. Ooh, holding on to the past. Oh my goodness gracious. One thing about holding on to the past. hold on to negativity. And people love to do this. They love to hold on to old stuff. But what you don't understand, by you holding on, it keeps you stagnant. It's hard for your development holding on to the past. You cannot develop as a person if you hold on to the past all the time. You gotta deal with that past. As I was stating yesterday, if you have to seek professional help, please do, because pray and go to God, yes, but God also invented therapists. So I always say you need a mixture of both. Pray and meditate, and then seek professional help. Because therapy has done a lot of good for a lot of people, but we know the culture that we come from, that people don't want to go to therapy. They feel like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'll just talk to God and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, talk to God. Always talk to God. But he invented therapists and counselors for a reason. And like I said yesterday, it's still a lot of adults suffering from childhood traumas. I remember I had a conversation with somebody. We was at Chili's or whatever, and having a conversation with everybody, and he's talking about black women. I don't even know how we got on this discussion, but I said you need to understand something. I said women are angry. I said part of the reason why women are angry is because they're unprotected. Um, Black women, more specifically, are very unprotected. And I said, unfortunately, at least 90% of the women was some type of victim of molestation or sexual assault. So, especially me working in the fields that I worked, all the social services, drug and alcohol, people get raped and molested a lot, and most of the times it's by family members and people that they know and loved and trust. And what that does to a person's psyche. And unfortunately, a lot of women don't get help for it. And now they walking around, they angry for the rest of their life. And they're not just angry because of the assault. They're angry because they weren't protected against it. And the person that assaulted them most likely is somebody that they knew. So then we got fatherless, a whole lot of fatherless kids that grew up with fatherless adults, and they might have repeated the cycle. They may not. A lot of guys have not, that I know in my generation, have not repeated that cycle, but there's still a lot out there that have. So you're dealing with the anger issues of that as well. Like, that's why a lot of people need to seek therapy, seek help. The abuse they experienced in their household, the traumas they experienced in their household, things that children shouldn't have to worry about. They had to worry about. Like a child shouldn't have to worry about where their next meal's coming from. A child should have to worry about they got clean clothes. A child shouldn't have to worry about the electricity going out, not having heat in the winter, not having hot water, stuff like that. Children should not have to worry about. That's trauma. Period. So when those things happen, it leaves a mark inside of you that people have to deal with, and they don't, because they think, and some people think, oh, that's normal, that is what it is, blah blah. No, that's trauma, and it builds into a lot of things. It builds up into anger, it builds up into resentment. Might build up into guilt. All those things have happened, and people need to deal with those things. Um, So let's talk a little bit about the positivity. Let's talk about forgiveness. And we all know that forgiveness starts with yourself. It starts with you. Forgive yourself, number one, and then ask for forgiveness from other people. I mean, you may just have to hug something, have a talk with somebody and hug it out with them and all that good stuff. But forgiveness starts there. And then from there, go on. And get forgiveness for other people. You have to accept your past and be destined not to repeat it. We come from a lot of generational curses and things of that nature. But you got to be the generational curse breaker. Okay. Be the curse breaker. Don't keep repeating those cycles. Whatever those cycles are, we know we have a whole lot of them. We know we have a lot of, financial curses on us. Um, the addiction, the abuse, the traumas, all that stuff. We got to be the breakers of it. So, guys, I have to go because I'm running a little late for my destination. I'll be back with financial stuff later. All right. Bye, guys.